Every time I think about Pleasant, my mouth just starts to water. My mind automatically goes to pickles. This is the only town I know that smells like it belongs in a hot dog.
Daddy, I write the Jelly of the Week column for the Siler City paper, and I often include a Pleasant pickle product in my list of ingredients.
When we're not singing, we run a little filling station grocerette up on Highway 11, and we have always sold a gang of Pleasant pickles.
I told them all about meeting y'all that way.
And we were pleased to be able to help you and your poor old car out. The preacher here is in dire need of a new radiator.
No, sir, you patched it up, good as new.
You need a new radiator. We started out 9 years ago.
Selling sundries.
And one thing I learned about retail is, you hang out a sign and pray the Lord sends you customers. But salesmen, they come without calling. Now, you're a bookkeeper, Brother Oglethorpe, am I saying it right?
Oh yes, that's the way.
But I state right now that I have saved many a farmer a trip into Siler City because the International Harvest Man talked me into stocking implement pots.
And the Pepsi-Cola man.
And the Pepsi-Cola man. I thought he'd bust before I put him in a cooler, but I finally agreed.
And we sold 32 ice-cold watermelons for a real hot Saturday afternoon.
Well.
Last fall, man from Charlotte stopped by. Ordered me to sell little crackers to sell a mini pack.
Nabs, Daddy.
Nabs. I thought it was foolishness, but the young'uns begged me to have them. And they surely put me to shame. There is a good living to be made selling nabs and knee-high. The SO man was so excited he dug the hole himself, buried the tank. And my son Dennis here turned out to be a real whiz-bang mechanic. And the automobiles, they just rolled in. We couldn't have asked to do no better. Now Vera here had been worrying me half to death to build her back porch for, oh, I don't know how long.
6 years.
So anyway, one day I says to Vera, I says, Vera, if President Roosevelt can borrow all that money for his WPA, CCC, FWA, and every other initial up there in Washington, I reckon I can borrow a parcel to build you a back porch. I love building that porch. 10 to 20 feet, 6 posts.
Turned, not square.
Tongue and groove flooring. I never feel closer to the Almighty than when I'm building something. I guess that's because Jesus was a carpenter himself.
Amen.
But about halfway through that porch, something happened. My business at the station just dried up. I mean to tell you, nobody stopped. I was sitting in front of the store one day, and a DeSoto that I know well flew by so fast I could hardly get my hand up to wave.
It took very little investigation on my part to find out that the store up the road was selling beer.
Selling beer on Highway 11. Overnight, it was a real popular establishment.
Wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. Proverbs 20.
Now, it has always been my conviction to sell only what the Lord would eat and drink. But there I was with a half-built porch, a loan due at the bank, a family of 5, 6 to feed, and I had not sold so much in 3 days. And just like the icing on the cake, you know who drives up. Big old Mercury car, one of them pricey felt hats like they wear in town. He was, what's that word you use, Denise? Suave. And I thought to myself as I watched him crawl out, this man reminds me of somebody. And he takes hold of my hand and he's a shaking and a grinning like I've been shook and grinned at so many times. And this beer man sets into making his play. Oh, I'm going to be a rich man to hear him tell it. 2 cents on every bottle's mine to keep.
2 cents?
He's talking profits and revenues, and I'm seeing the bank take over my store. My family wasted to nothing. Now, I ain't never told this before, not even to my family, but I was backed into a corner here. I thought, that's it. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to sell beer in my store. And just when I'm about to say, load it in, a beer man's car starts to hissing and moaning out the back, rocking on its tires like there's something alive back there. Then, ha! Just like a rabbit gun going on. Ha! Ha! Well, that beer man has done hit the ground and crawled up under a bench. Hot and froze like a popsicle. Then, boom! The trunk lid blows open and a bottle cap flies by my head so close it just about pins my ear to the clapboard. Well, I am defrosted and down on the dirt with that beer man. And it hits me. The devil.
The devil.
That's right. This here beer man reminds me of old Satan himself. And I could be Job, only in the modern world. And I thought on Job. There he was, robbed of every sign of God's favor, hunkered down in a sack, covered with festering sores and boils. And the miracle is, he never lost faith. And there I was, put to the test one time, and I'm ready to roll over. Well, I got up. I strode over to that bench. I jerked that beer man up by his fancy lapels and put my nose right up next to his, and I said, Bud, I suggest you crawl back in that stinking Mercury car and haul it down the road. He jumps in the front seat, is sputtering and crying, and takes off. Beer dripping down through the tracks and dribbling on the tires. For those of you who don't know it, that beer has staying power. I got the family down there, and we set him to scrub it and shove the dirt in the puddles of it. Psalm 62:8 says, Mother?
I trust in him at all times.
Trust in him at all times. I won't sell beer in my store. And I don't do quite as well as I used to. I finished the porch, though. We're just going to have to wait a little while for the screen line.
Yes, sir.
By the way, that bottle cap's still stuck in the side. Next time you're up on Highway 11, pull in. I'll show it to you. People used to talk about the fire, and then they had a great desire to see God's hands at work in the midst of them. But it seems that since I got older, folks' hearts have grown a little colder. It's time to get our hearts filled once again. Bring them in. Bring them in. To the filling station. And there's a little passion, true salvation. It's about where the glory flows out.